everybody. This week's project is bubble painting. It is similar to our straw blowing in that you blow, but the materials are different and you get these nice round areas that are created by the bubbles. You can see some small ones and some large ones. Before we get started, I wanted to show you a side by side. So I used the exact same colors that I'm going to show you on this one on the left as I did on this one on the right. So what's the difference? Why is this one faded and this one brighter? Paper that you choose when you do art can make a huge difference. The paper here that I used is photo paper, glossy photo paper, and this is plain cardstock. Now you may choose to use either one, but for today I'm going to use, I like the bright colors, and I am going to use photo paper. So you need for this project some food coloring. I am going to put a link to a recipe to make your own bubbles. So you can have, if you have some bubbles, you can use bubbles from around your house, and then some cups or something to put your bubble juice and food coloring in. You're going to need your bubble wands and always paper towels. And then I also have some soap here, which I'll talk about why I have some soap in just a minute, and a little bit of water. And that's so that just like you wash your paintbrush in between colors in watercolors, you're going to want to wash your wand in between your different colors when you do your bubble designs. So a couple of just reminder things. Remember that when we do this, we want to fill the space with lots of color. We don't want that white frame around it, okay? Take your time, and you might even want to do two projects at once. So you might want to like work on this project and do a couple colors, set it aside, and then let it dry a little bit while you're working on another one, and then keep going. So let's get started. Notice how, here's an art word for you, my paint colors are pretty saturated. This, for instance, is my green, which looks like this when it's on here. I added quite a bit of paint. This is the purple that you see here. Quite a bit of the food coloring to each one of these. Parents, about about an eighth cup. I started with a quarter and found that was too much, but about an eighth cup of bubble juice, and then I put my dots. Now, this is an excellent color mixing and learning about color mixing project. So for instance, I have orange here, but my only colors that I have here are blue, green, yellow, and red. So how did I get orange? Well, I mixed red and yellow. This brand that I bought has this nice little proportion, but I use that as a rough guideline, and then I blended the colors to make them lighter or darker like I wanted them. This is teal, so how did I get teal? Well, I mixed the blue and the green together. But again, you want them pretty dark unless you want a pastel look to your colors. So let's get started. You're going to get with this not only the rings, but you're going to get those fun just dots when you blow. You get what I call these veins that kind of come out, but it is also just fun to be able to blow and do your project. So I'm going to start with yellow. I like lots of bright yellow, and then I kind of like to put darker colors over the top. So I'm going to drip, and that's okay. We like those dots. They look nice when it's all done, and just blow. Okay, so my bubble stayed for just a second, and then I got a ring there. Sometimes I was trying to get it so it would just stay on the paper. Okay, there we go. So now I've got my bubble, and then I'll get a nice dark ring. Now you might not necessarily get that. You might, if you blow hard, it was gentle blow, you can just get a splat, okay? And that's how I get some of the dots and sometimes those veins, is by just a hard blow and getting some of the splatter. I was going to mention, because, and this is important, I should have mentioned this, because I added so much food coloring to these, that's why I needed the Palmolive. You might need to add some extra dishwashing soap, because sometimes you dilute your bubble juice too much and you can't get the nice film. So you need that nice film, obviously, to have a bubble, and sometimes you don't get that nice film if you have diluted the solution too much with water. Then just add a few drops of Palmolive and kind of play with it till you get the consistency you want. Okay, so there's another bubble sitting on the surface. Just blowing gently, and I get these bubbles sitting on the surface. We can pop those in a minute. But I would add yellow all over and go to the edges. Let's try another color. I really like the teal. So you can't really see it here, but I'm going to rinse. I had this bubble blower in bubble wand in the green. I'm going to clean it and go ahead and put this in the blue. Don't be afraid to overlap your bubbles. Look, I got some dots there. I like those dots. Oh, I got a threesome going on over there. Okay. And so you can get these different shapes. It's really, really fun to play with. Let me add just a little bit of, let's go orange. I was trying to decide, well, I've got a raspberry. Where's my raspberry? That's my purple over there. I think this is my raspberry. I'm gonna wipe my wand off. Yeah, that's my raspberry. How did I get raspberry? What colors did I mix to get raspberry? I'm really liking how this is turning out, and you see some swirls, you see some circles. I'm going to come to the other side. You see some overlaps because I want this to go off the page. And I should just take a still of this to put on there. So you can see the process and how this works. This one, I wasn't as successful getting as many of the circles as I'm getting on this one. I did this one in the heat of the day a little bit earlier. That might have been part of the problem. Maybe some of the water evaporated and my juice was a little bit thicker, but it's still, I love it. Even though I didn't get as many of the bubbles to sit on the page as I'm getting right now. So again, this is great for color mixing. Learn about mixing colors when you put different colors together, and fill the space. I have not yet filled my space. I would still probably will spend a minute when I stop here filling a few of these areas that do not yet have color. Send me your pictures on your portfolios and have a great week.